Toots Hibbert's career in Jamaica's music is about as long and relevant as the music itself. For since getting the break via his vocal group, The Maytals, in the early 60s, Toots has never lost relevance in the music's mainstream. Toots and The Maytals left the decade of the 1960s with a slew of timeless gems, including Bam Bam, which won the Festival Song Competition in 1966. And perhaps his most indelible contribution to the reggae story, the track Do the Reggae in 69. Toots' Do the Reggae came just as the beat began to deviate from Rocksteady, which had been rocking the island since 66, to a new sound. The use of the word reggae in the song led many to credit Toots as the man that gave the new sound a name. That name, of course, is reggae. Toots continued his ascension in reggae throughout the next 3 decades, winning souls and accolades all over the world, including a Grammy for Best Reggae Album in 2005. And the Order of Distinction bestowed by the government of Jamaica for outstanding contribution to music. Frederick Toots Hibbert exited on Friday, September 11, 2020, after a short battle with COVID-19 at age 77. Here are some reactions from some who knew Toots the man, Toots the artist best.
So I actually first met Toots when he was in the studio and he was being recorded by Leslie Kong. The thing that amazed me was his voice, the power of his voice. He had an incredible range. In those early days, not everybody wrote their own songs. A good few artists did. But Toots from the very early, was really doing everything his way. And that's really how he was. He was the leader of his band. And he was somebody who just knew where he wanted to go, knew what he wanted to do, and was always in charge of his life, pretty much, always in charge of that. Toots was one of the people who traveled a lot very early on in the 60s, and sort of was one of the people that led the interest in Jamaican music right from the very early days. I think his first song was 5446 was my number. I think that was his first song, but certainly that was his first big hit that I can remember. And 5446 was my number, was his number when he was in prison for smoking marijuana. Back in those days, you'd be put into prison for it. Now it's okay, I guess. And he was in prison for some time. When he came out, he recorded the song, and the song became a big hit, and he became somewhat of a hero really right away. And his career really just grew and grew. He had the same band that I can remember, really, the same band for 30, 40 years. And he toured the world, everywhere, pretty much everywhere, certainly in Europe, the Far East, Australia. Toots built a following and built an audience, and was much loved by all the people who would see his shows. They were literally fanatics for Toots, because he just had his own way of performing and his own way of doing a show, which was great. Well, 5446 was my number. In a way it'll be a flashback to what it used to be like where people were in prison for smoking some weed. After that, he had, let's go through some of his songs. He had this song called Monkey Man, which was really like a sort of fun song of one which he used to dance to a lot, which was one of his most popular songs for a long time. And then he came with one which has been redone in many ways over the years with different people, and that's Bam Bam. Bam Bam is, again, just a great song. You know, it's just classic Toots. Let me think. 6 and 7 Books of Moses. That was great. It had a whole religious connotation to it. It was absolutely great. 6 and 7 Books of Moses was one of his biggest songs. Sweet and Dandy, absolutely. And of course, Pressure Drop. Pressure Drop was very popular with the English rock and rollers. Robert Palmer, one of the artists on Island Records, he did his own version of Pressure Drop. In fact, he recorded it twice, and other people covered it too, because it was just a great story. That's, you know, when pressure drop on you. It's a little like this virus thing we're going through, you know. So that was one of Toots's. Funky Kingston. Funky Kingston was actually, I'm going to claim that as my idea, because I was supposed to release a record called Funky Nassau, and it was being sent to me to release in England, but it never got to me. And the song became a huge hit in America, and I was really, really upset that I hadn't got the song and released it, because, you know, it was just a hit record. So I think I was just about to do some recording with Toots, and I said, listen, we've got to do Funky Kingston. We've got to do a Jamaican record, Funky Kingston. And Toots just wrote it and sang it, and boom, you know, a couple of hours later, that was all done, you know, just instant. So I don't know what you can say about Toots, you know, except that he's going to be incredibly missed. And I think he was absolutely loved by everybody. I've been to so many shows around the world where Toots have been performing, and people just loved him, really, really loved him. And he loved his music, and he loved Jamaica. And, you know, he's a big loss, very sad, very, very sad. His career could actually explode now, because he never caught on big in anything as, let's say, Bob did, or even Third World in a way did, of getting into a wider audience. But with these songs out now, and the quality of them all, and the story of him, you know, of 60 odd years, you know, recording, I really feel that he'll be supported by radio, supported by the press, and I think consumers will really discover his music.
I'm Karen Smith, and this is my husband, Jackie Jackson, who toured with Toots in the Metals band all over the world for 40 plus years, played on the recordings, and when you asked us for an intimate reflection of Toots the entertainer and Toots the man. So, Jackie, what do you think is one of your most memorable moments when you think about Toots, whether as an entertainer or as a person?
For me, the most memorable was our first tour, 1975, opening for Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles in Anaheim Stadium. 90,000 people.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
90,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
We guys, the band, we were nervous wrecks. You know, and when the MC said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Toots on the Metals," and we walked out, we were still nervous. And we picked up our instruments and started the introduction for Pressure Drop.
Oh, you remember which song?
Yes, of course, it's the first time.
That's amazing.
You can't forget the first time.
But it's a lot of years. Well, yes, you can't forget the first time. True.
And Toots walked out. As a matter of fact, he didn't even walk out. He ran out, jumping, prancing.
Ready to go.
He's ready on the go. And on his way to the microphone, he paused by us guys and says, "We're going to be great." And great it was.
So confidence and swag from back in the day. That is really something.
We crushed it.
With confidence. So for me, I remember when Courtney, our daughter, and I were on tour with you in 2003, and the concert was Reggae on the River outside, and outside. So Courtney was at the front of the stage during the performance, dancing at the front of the stage on the floor. The stage is high, and I remember when he was introducing the band. This is when everybody's leaving. We concert finished now, and he's introducing the band, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is my bass player's daughter, Courtney Jackson. Can we hear it for Courtney?" And the audience went, "Yeah, Courtney!" What a moment that was, and we have never forgotten. And I also want to ask you about him, if he's approachable.
He was the most approachable person ever.
Wow.
With no ears and no braces.
I want to say, as the president of the Jamaica Federation and the Jamaica Federation of Musicians and Affiliates Union, what a loss it is for us. We keep saying larger than life, and there's only going to be one Toots. We're not going to see another entertainer like that. And because of COVID-19, we won't be able to send him off in a manner befitting such a wonderful artist. But I want to say rest in peace, legend. All the best to you. God bless you. Thank you for the music.
And the saga continues.
Definitely one of the most important artists in Jamaican music. In fact, he is regarded as one of the best vocalists in music anywhere. He has been a part of the foundation for ska, rocksteady, and of course reggae music. When Bob Marley gave the world one love, Toots gave the world true love. And it is that spirit of true love that continues to make him one of the most important artists of our time. He has millions of fans around the world who will miss him, but they will take comfort knowing that his music will never die. And he will continue to be an important part of music for generations to come. I'd like to send my condolences to his family, his wife, his children, his grandchildren, and also his musical family. The musicians, the team, the engineers, the managers, and those who have worked with Toots over the many years to enhance a career that is undoubtedly one of the most important of our time.
Dad was a fun-loving dad. I can remember many times as children when he would get home and then he would say, "When you're ready," and that meant everybody gonna take their place around that domino table. Many times Dad would just take us all to the country, and when we got there we see Auntie Birdie, Uncle William, Uncle Fargo, we saw all our cousins, and we just enjoyed those times, and Daddy did it ever so often. I remember many times he would also take us to the beach. We loved going to the beach with our dad. But there was this time when I was on tour with Dad, I just was not paying attention, and so the bus left me. The bus left me. And Dad was sleeping, but he just woke up, and then he just said to them, "I don't feel Gigi on the bus, you know." And they were like, "No, Naya, she's on the bus." And he said, "Go and look." And when they did, sure enough, I was not on the bus. And Everybody was like, Naya, how you knew? But that was the type of person that he was. He was very discerning. If there was anything going on with any one of us, Daddy knew. He was that in tune with us. We miss him terribly. And we just want to carry on this legacy, carry on what he has started. And so we just want to thank you for just sharing in our time of loss, sharing the kind of father he was. He was an awesome dad. Thank you.
And people sees me and said, they can't believe that it's me.
Yeah, they said Toots forever young. Respond to that.
Well, forever young is a lie. Cannot be forever young. I just try to I get my massage 3 times a week. I do my makeup 3 times a week because the music is good and I have to be there to prepare the music and to make new interests in my life every time to make the younger generation copy.
Yes.
To know that if you haven't got a hit record, you must still stay on shape. I do my exercise, I go to the gym. I'm a karate guy, I used to be a boxer, I'm a dancer. When I go to Jamaica, I'm going to have my program, my weight loss program, because I do dancing to teach people how to lose weight. But you don't know that. He's the first one I'm going to tell that. If you can dance, we teach you how to dance and what to do in Toots Animator's gym, which I don't have as yet. When I'm 100 years of age right now, but when I reach maybe 250, I will be having my gym. Everybody believe I don't tell them how old I am because people are going to give you a hint. When you go to your bed, if you are 50, when you wake up in the morning, you're 100. 50 go on your 50. Yeah. Because people don't check when you're sleeping. That's why a Chinese man always tell you, say, they reach 500 years of age or so. Because they check the night when you're sleeping too. So that's what I do. So really, I got 4 out of that. So if you are 40, double that. Anything you do, double that. Yeah. And then you know how the blessing of God is with you because His mercy still endure, ever faithful, ever sure.
The legendary Toots Hibbert, out at 77, but shall be forever young in our memories.